Hello everyone. In today's video, we will be talking about some of the questions that has come from the June 2021 FMG exam. So we did not have much of a surprise this time because most of the questions were pretty direct from dermatology. So from various recall questions, we could get around 10 questions from dermatology, which we will be discussing right now. So I hope all of you have done the exam well and you will be able to score amazing results as well. So let us see the questions one by one. The first question is, a patient presented with the following lesion. So as you can see in this image that a patient is presenting to you with a patch kind of a lesion, which is a depigmented patch. Okay, let us say a hypopigmented patch or a depigmented patch. So among all the options, among the different types of vitiligo, as you can see in this image, you can see that the lesion does not cross the midline. Okay, and this type of a vitiligo is called as a segmental vitiligo. So I hope you must have got this question right because it was a pretty direct image based question. Now let's see the next question. The second question says that a patient who is a farmer by profession, he comes to you with the following lesion. So you can see the foot of the patient is given, and if you closely examine this image, you can see that there is a swelling of the foot. Along with the swelling of the foot, you can see multiple discharging sinus. So which is a disease that comes to your mind? Among all the options like deep fungal infections like chromoblastomycosis, mycetoma, sporotrichosis and all, the single best answer would be mycetoma. So why mycetoma? Because in the mycetoma, we have a classical clinical triad. And the triad is there is going to be a tumor like swelling of the foot. The second is there is going to be a discharging sinus, and the third one is this sinus, the discharge will be having some typical granules. So all these things especially fits to this question would be, the right answer would be mycetoma. So let's see the next question. The next question is, a female presented with multiple warty kind of lesions, and the image shows there is some kind of a warty kind of a lesions over the vulva. So these on examination they were soft and sessile and does not bleed on touch. So what is the likely diagnosis? So all of us know that among all the options, we all usually get confused between condyloma lata and condyloma acuminata. So condyloma acuminata is what is called as the genital warts. So these genital warts are usually caused by the HPV subtype 6 and 11. And what is condyloma lata? Condyloma lata is the kind of a warty kind of a lesion that you see in secondary syphilis. So the causative is different, and according to this question, a female with multiple warty lesions around the vulva with no mention of any sexually transmitted infections. So the best option would be condyloma acuminata. Okay. So now let's see the next question. So the question says, this is a question where dermatology and they have tested you with the pharmacology, okay, the treatment options. Now what is the question? The question says a female student, okay, she presents with urticaria upon consumption of a seafood. Now she wants a non-sedating drug because this is the exam time. So which is the most likely drug or preferred antihistamine for this patient? So the options are diphenhydramine, fexofenadine, promethazine and chlorpheniramine maleate. Okay, so out of all these options, you should understand that in pharmacology you must have learned that is there are type 1 antagonist and type 2 antagonist which is used as a H1 receptor blocker. So out of which this non-sedating type is a second generation. Okay, so second generation among all these options is going to be fexofenadine. So please try to remember fexofenadine, desloratadine, loratadine, all these are the second generation antihistamines which is having a less of the sedating properties. So the single best answer among all these options would be fexofenadine. Now let's see the next question. So this is a question of the scalp that you can see. So this is again a pretty easy question for whoever has gone through this topic called as alopecia areata. Why? Because now in this image, it was a direct spotter question. What is a diagnosis, where you are able to see this exclamation mark on trichoscopy. So any patient who presents to you with a patchy hair loss. So if, along with this patchy hair loss on trichoscopy, if you can see the exclamatory mark sign. So this is typical for alopecia areata, which is an autoimmune disease. So out of all these options, the answer is alopecia areata. Now let's see the next question. Here again an easy question, because the question says it is an elderly patient, a 70-year-old patient develops the following lesion over the face over the 2 years. So what is the diagnosis? Now you can see that what is the type of lesion. The lesion is present over the face of the patient. Second is it is an elderly patient. And the third one, see the typical characteristic of the lesion. The characteristic of the lesion is that the lesion is having a rolled up border and there is some telangiectasia in the center. So any rolled up border kind of a lesion with telangiectasia in the center, that too over the face, okay, above this line. So this is more likely to be basal cell carcinoma. So I hope you should not get confused between basal cell carcinoma and the other options like keratoacanthoma. Okay, because what happens in keratoacanthoma? In keratoacanthoma also you will be getting a lesion, and in the center of the lesion you will be getting keratin deposits. Whereas in basal cell carcinoma, you will be able to see certain telangiectasia in the center. Okay, so that is all about this question. The next question was again an image based question, where the question says that a young lady presents to you with a lacy reticulate lesion within the oral cavity. So lacy reticulate lesion in the oral cavity, it was very typical for which disease? Which of those papillosquamous diseases? Is it candidiasis, is it psoriasis, or is it lichen planus? So the answer is oral lichen planus, because in oral lichen planus you can see a similar lesion where there is a lacy reticulate pattern. Now the next question is now this is again another image based question, because most of them have just said that there was an image with these three types of lesions that is being shown in the forearm. Usually when we talk about impetigo, we always talk about around the area of the mouth. Now what has happened? Now in this question they have given a patient presented with these kind of skin lesions along with crusting, and what is the kind of organism that is causing this lesion. Now earlier we got a question where a pharmacological aspect was discussed. Now in this question they are going into microbiology. So dermatology and microbiology is coming together. So what do you think? These three lesions, they have given all the options as gram positive cocci, gram negative cocci, gram negative bacillus and gram negative coccobacilli. So it is easy to understand that they are going to refer to an infection. So out of the infection, since it's a superficial skin infections, we all know that the most common bacteria that causes skin infection is Staphylococcus aureus. And in some of the cases like in bullous impetigo and all, there is one more causative that is implicated, that is Streptococcus. So both Streptococcus as well as Staphylococcus aureus, what type of organism are they? Are they gram positive cocci, gram negative cocci, or something else? The answer is both are gram positive cocci. So among all the options, the single best answer would be gram positive cocci. So let's see the next question. So I think this is the last question, that is a patient presented. Now there was two images that was given for the same finding. Okay, and the nail finding was a patient presented with the following nail finding. How would you manage the patient? Now just carefully look at this image. What is being shown? You can see that there is a spoon shaped nails. So spoon shaped nails means koilonychia, and the most frequent cause of koilonychia is iron deficiency anemia. So how do you manage this patient? Multiple options like iron supplementation, calcium supplementation, steroids, antifungal agents, everything is given in the options. So the answer is obviously iron supplementation. So this is the last question that we could recall from dermatology. So almost 10 questions and probably some more questions from which is the most common oral lesion that you find in India, and some others were also asked. So I hope all these questions were not of that difficult level, and I really believe that you all were able to do it very properly. Okay, so in few days time we are expecting the results, and I hope all of you pass out in flying colors. Thank you so much.